like when you invest in early startups, I have like done study, like there are a lot of studies on this.
Yeah.
The most successful startups are mostly driven by the entrepreneur himself. Because it's not going to be about anything else. It's about whether or not that person is going to persist until he makes it.
Yeah.
And that kind of drive is quite amazing.
You got me dancing in your store, burning everything we know, rising up as fireflies.
I'm in the kind of Warren Buffett school of thought that you should only invest in stuff that you know will eventually make a profit in the long run.
Yeah.
In that sense, all you need to look for is whether something is currently undervalued. And when I look at all of these startups here, I feel that they are very undervalued. Harsh is the reason that we came all the way here to Bhubaneswar, and we've talked together yesterday for like 5 hours, and we decided to work together on future projects. And I'm so happy that she's on board now, and so I'm so happy. And could you just tell me a little bit about yourself?
I would describe myself as a techie guy, or basically try to, as a person who would like to try to create his identity in the tech world. Once we have started that software consulting wing, or basically the entire company, we had the chance to work with really, really amazing people, really, really good companies. Some company, we have been able to help them to fetch multi-million in funding, Series A and Series B as well. And the core product of what they have been using till now is still the same product that we built for them. So, that's mostly about how I got started and the company got into light.
If a guy built a flying robot in MIT, for instance, obviously that would be impressive. But then again, it's not that difficult because in the US because you have more resources. Now, if a person built the same thing here in India, I met a lot of people in those startups over here who because they did not have funding, they did not have enough money, they went to junkyards and started scrapping electronic equipment and got their motherboards and processors and glued them all together themselves and created a robot, a working prototype.
That's incredible.
That's a different level of difficulty.
Yeah.
But recently, the trend has picked up where a lot of startups are coming up and they need the right ecosystem to flourish. And KIT TBI basically helps us to get that ecosystem in place. We got a lot of grants because of KIT incubators, and we also got a lot of exposure to potential clients and investors. I think that's the core job of any incubator that is out there. There are a couple of really big success stories from this KIT incubator. Zoho, for instance, is a company which is based out of India, which hasn't gotten any funding from any investors, and they have done really big and has become the competitor to Google Office Suite.
We used to use that too.
Yes, and the thing is they don't have any investors. They are completely bootstrapped.
Wow. So the owners must be really proud. It's
even we feel pretty proud about the fact that they are coming in. And like I said, if the companies have the right access, most of these products would actually have seen the face of the market if not been super successful.
Let's assume that you're judging a bunch of startups. Now, you have one startup that has a great business plan, but you don't really like the entrepreneur. On the other hand, you have a startup which you feel has no business plan, a very terrible business plan, but you feel you really like the entrepreneur.
I think I'll go with the person whom I like.
Exactly. So the study showed two things. First, that VCs actually judge the personality of the entrepreneur. They rate it more important, they give more weight to the personality of the entrepreneur than to the business plan itself.
Okay.
That was the first result. The second thing was, not only did VCs value the personality and traits of the entrepreneur more, it was more correlated to the future success of the startup itself.
Okay.
That was the interesting part for me. I had a gut feeling that would be correct, but to see it
written in
yeah,
in a journal,
and not obviously in this day and age, Like there are a million theories competing in a million different journals, but this was like one of the best journal. Like it's like science and nature of the business world. So yeah.
Forget what I told you, forget all about that tonight. Just remember the flame, you remember the flame, alright. Forget what I told you, forget all about that tonight. Just remember the flame, you remember the flame, alright.